there.
He should not be. Plus, there should be. I am totally with it that we need to clean our system. The judicial system needs to be clean. Like they said that no private office is going to be operated from the judge's residence.
Yes.
So we had a CGI whose son was having his business premises in the same house, but we could not do anything against him. So we know that these things are happening. And one other important issue. I have been hearing this since last 20 years, that in the Supreme Court, during vacations, when there is a particular set of judges sitting over on the benches,
yes,
the vacation judges, a particular set of lawyers only practice in that time.
Okay.
They are not the relatives. In the Supreme Court, you don't engage a lawyer till the case is listed.
So there are societies and societies.
There are this.
That's an interesting point. Colonel Agarwal,
so rich people are always able to
of lawyers who are elevated in the same place. There is a feeling that they know the region well, they know the problems of the place, they know the traditions. So by that yardstick, they'll be able to apply the law more judiciously if they're elevated in the same place. What do you say?
No, I don't agree with that. Judge decides the case according to the place, how the case is put up before him by the two parties. Case law is put up and judge applies his mind on the law. He is not bothered about the traditions. I have seen Justice K.B.N. Singh from Patna, Chief Justice in Chennai. What he used to do, I remember I attended the court as OIC legal cell. A Lalaji came there. Lalaji couldn't speak Tamil. He spoke Hindi. Advocate couldn't put across. He called Lalaji to himself. He said, "मुझे बताओ आपने क्या कहना है? आपका केस क्या है?" He heard him in Hindi.
Okay.
And gave the judgment. He said, "I am here for justice." So to say that an advocate from the same area can do better justice, I am sorry.
What is your take on this?
What I feel, we have very wonderful judges. Judges have to deal with the local laws also, which are particularly in that area only. And I think this would be taken care by the choice of judges. We need to have men of talent and integrity to be chosen as judges. We have no dearth of good lawyers. We have very good lawyers. Two of them are just sitting next to me.
But at this point in time, we're talking about the judges. Now, I remember in 1997, the full court had restated the judicial values of, judicial life, values of judicial life. But that doesn't seem to be happening as of now.
No, that in India, we is the only country who used to follow the Manu Smriti.
Yes.
Nyaya and Sadachar, self-restraint, self-discipline. We are maybe the biggest democracy, but there is no meritocracy now. The mobcracy is there. So it is the basic. We need a moral leadership, not political leadership.
Right. Harpreet, let me ask you about something else. Now, there is a proposal of the Union Law Ministry to set up a legal service board. This is on the lines of a similar board in United Kingdom, and this will hear complaints against legal professionals.
I think.
Do you think it's do you welcome that?
No, we strongly oppose it, because earlier there were legal protections bill in 1879. There was Bar Council of India bill in 1926. Then the disciplinary proceedings were taken care by the respective high courts. Our bar leaders, they strove hard. They got the Advocates Act in 1961. For almost 50 years, it is the autonomous body, democratic elected body.
But why do you think the Union Law Ministry has gone in for this? I mean, do you think they want to curtail the powers of the Bar Council?
Obviously, Union Law Ministry should first put in a mechanism or a law to regulate the conduct of the politicians. There is a wholesale loot being perpetuated in the country by the politicians.
But there, at least from the politicians, you can go to the court and try and get justice there. Now, this is the last resort that a citizen has, actually.
Sandhu Sahab, we have a very good mechanism under the Advocates Act. Advocates Act section 35-36 provides for a very speedy to a litigant. Under the Bar Council of India rules, if a complaint is filed before a state bar council, it has to be decided within 1 year. In case it is pending for more than 1 year, it stands automatically transferred to Bar Council of India. The problem lies, what I really feel is that Bar Council of India has failed on one count, that is maintaining of the legal education. The section 7 subsection H,
right.
H obligates the Bar Council of India to set up the standards for legal education. So it is basically we would if the law ministry is doing something on that.
What about Anupam? What about the conduct of the lawyers themselves? Do you think the Bar Council has managed to actually regulate the conduct? I mean, there are numerous complaints against the lawyers. It's also felt that the lawyers in a lot of cases are not protecting the interest of the clients.
And that, I suppose, this general dissatisfaction with professional conduct, with lawyers' conduct.
Yes.
The winds of change, the winds of accountability are affecting the legal profession as much as the judicial system, as much as the judges, and lawyers are no exception to this. So while we argue for judicial accountability, we cannot remain insulated from the demand for professional accountability. The proposed draft of the, I haven't seen the draft, it's not been put out as well.
Yes.
So I can't possibly respond to the specifics of the draft. That's a matter of speculation. But as a theme again, as a concept, it is based upon, patterned upon the British Legal Services Act of 2007. The same larger moral problem that the legal profession as a whole, including the paralegal sectors of the profession, must also be subject to some kind of professional and extra professional accountability from outside. So as a principle, I am in support of this, and I must also say that like the Medical Council of India, that's an extreme analogy for which I beg forgiveness from my distinguished colleague, the Secretary of the Bar Council here, but like the Medical Council of India, the Bar Councils also have failed the purpose for which they were set up.
Right. Navkiran, in the case of the Legal Service Board which is proposed, there will be a chairperson, there will be members of the chairperson, there will be an ombudsperson to oversee the functioning. So what is your take on this? Do you think the constitution of it as proposed is in place?
Well, as my friend has said, Anupam ji, bar councils have not been able to keep out the rut out of the lawyers. Let's be very frank. The legal ethics in the lawyers are also a big question mark. So we need to put our house in order, and that's the reason that somebody has started raising a finger at us. Now, since it's a time of globalization, the multinational companies have come forward and they are facing problems, and all these laws are being changed according to the international standards.
Right.
And suppose there is a check on bar councils, I don't think it should be taken to be a challenge for us. And if it's really in the right, earnest effort to make our profession clean, then it's a welcome sign.
Harpreet, before I ask for your reaction as the former secretary of the and now a member of the Bar Council, let me get Colonel Agarwal's view on this. Legal Services Board, a good thing?
Basically, I am advocate as well as a client, so I can put it better. There are three types of complaints against the advocates. One, they don't attend the courts. Second, deficiency of services. Thirdly, they don't attend the court but send a very junior. You are paying for the horse but being attended by the donkey. Okay. These are three types of complaints. Now, why do you require Legal Services Board? Advocates are covered under the Consumer Protection Act. You can go to the Consumer Court.
Yes.
If there is a professional misconduct otherwise, you can go to the Bar Council. By making such bodies, we are not going to achieve anything. I am of the opinion, amend the Advocates Act.
But it is definitely another check on the functioning of the,
how many checks
not only on the functioning of the advocates but also on the Bar Council itself.
How many checks and counter checks you will have? Amend the Bar Council Act, amend the Bar Council rules. I will go to the extent of saying there is a discipline committee of the Bar Council everywhere. Add 2 members from the NGOs from outside who will represent the clients.
Okay.
Now, who is representing the clients today in the Bar Council? Nobody. Because what we are looking into is addressing the problem of the client, not other personal misconducts. Others can be taken care of by the Bar Council. But who is going to take care of the interest of the client?
Who is going to take care of the interest of the clients? Harpreet,
please. Sandhu sir, first of all, the new regime the law ministry is trying to put in, that is very lengthy and cumbersome process. It is not going to give any relief to the litigants. Secondly, being in the statutory body, I feel more than 80% of the complaints are motivated. Some of them out of professional jealousy or on account of private spite. So Bar Council, R is the first Bar Council.
You mean a lot of these are not correct complaints?
No. Lot of motivated complaints.
Okay.
So we don't get always the clients who come here, some of them
But
are
definitely the view that is coming out is that the Bar Council itself needs some kind of reforms, even if you don't have a legal service.
I would feel very proud privilege to indicate here on this panel
Yes.
that our Bar Council is the first in the country who has implemented Right to Information Act in India. So we are basically lawyers. We fight for people's rights. We are open to any kind of scrutiny. We have itemized budget. Everything is there. We have got implemented the Advocates Welfare Fund.
Well, as an administrative body, yes, some of the scrutiny is possible, but scrutiny on the judicial professional conduct, I'm not sure whether
Some of the legal
that is
fraternity
really
in
easy to identify.
Legal fraternity in India is the second largest institution after Indian Army. It has produced galaxy of talent even during the freedom struggle also. During emergency also they were on forefront opposing the government. So legal fraternity has an in-house mechanism
that doesn't cover up for the failings of the legal fraternity, which also keep coming out.
Sometimes I'm failing. The problem lies where the problem lies. My learned friend, all of them would agree, is the standard of legal education. It is purely a field of experts. So Bar Council of India should very candidly.
But even on that front, I think the Bar Council is opposing some kind of an entrance exam into the profession.
Yes, entrance exam also. Our chairman resigned. We were the first Bar Council to oppose this. It is against the Advocates Act. Secondly, why don't they have one entrance test at the threshold? They can have an entrance test.
Okay, maybe
we have blacklisted 3 universities.
Yes.
We don't give them license without verification. We have written number of times to Bar Council of India to please close these shops who sell degrees.
So maybe that's a subject of a different discussion.
Pardon my interference.
That is the
thousands of clients come to the courts daily.
Yes.
Thousands of witnesses come. Large number of accused persons who are under trial are brought to the courts in the bench. Advocates are on strike. Who is going to take care of their interests? Nobody. Advocate doesn't attend the court. Petition is dismissed. Client is losing. Who is going to compensate him?
Yes, I think
advocate.
Yes.
So Bar Council, being an advocate and a client, I am saying Bar Council must address the real issues. Advocates, my opinion, like doctors, have no right to go on strike. No right to go on strike because they have got a bar association. Make a representation to the Chief Justice.
So one is that they should not go on strike. What is the other suggestion that you have?
If they are taking a case of a brief of a client, they must do justice to that.
Right. I think we're going to be running out of time. Anupam, before we close, I want to ask you one last question. As of now, judiciary is an established pillar of democracy, but now with accusing fingers being raised against judiciary, if one is to go in for certain reforms, one major reform, what would that be?
Since we are on this issue, the question of nepotism is a priority area which cries for intervention. And even after Justice Karju's highly salutary observations in the Supreme Court, which have struck a great blow for addressing this problem, I would say it calls for an institutional, normative, constitutional change. Non-nepotist corruption, which my friend referred to, is an independent problem that also remains to be addressed. But nepotism is the core of the problem, or one of the core areas of the problem, which must necessarily be addressed and addressed without mincing words.
Right. Nepotism is one of the core issues that needs to be addressed. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us in this discussion. Judiciary is one of the 3 pillars of the civil society in our democratic system. Compared to the other 2 pillars, it has earned people's faith and respect. Yet with accusing fingers being increasingly raised against it, it is time for some drastic cleaning up. After all, Caesar's wife must be above suspicion. With that, we end this episode of Day and Night Prime. Till we meet again tomorrow, good night, goodbye.